If you are to lose the chicks, at least you must lose 6 chicks maximum in 100. That means in these chicks, if you lost 36, it would be bad, but still it's not the worst. First of all, I want to tell you that when you bring in your chickens or your pellets, you must ensure that the room is enough for the chicks you have brought. These ones are 600 chicks. They have made 4 weeks, and why I have shot this video today, they have to be transferred as soon as possible to a bigger room. These chicks have been given the best care ever. The 600 of them have all survived. We only lost 2 chicks. It is because of the accidents. The management has been so good, but of course accidents are accidents. Especially if you have somebody else, he comes and puts like a feeder on a chick like this. Let's give an example. Somebody puts the feeder on a chick like this. If they are very young, you cannot know that it's there. So we lost 2 in that mode. Another way you can lose your chick is especially if they are very young. You bring a chick and you step on it like this. At the age of just 1 week, you cannot know that it's there, and they don't even sound, so they died, 2 of them like that. So here we are with our success of 4 weeks and ready to transfer the chicks. I want to give you the tips on how you can manage your chicks until you have either 0 deaths or the minimum death. If you are to lose the chicks, at least you must lose 6 chicks maximum in 100. That means in these chicks, if you lost 36, it would be bad, but still it's not the worst. Not to lose chicks, you must ensure that there is hygiene. You can look at my coffee husks here. Look at the husks. We change husks. Usually we change them. And this is coffee. Why do I use the coffee? It is because coffee husks are surely better. The coffee husks don't cause flu, and they are the best water absorbents. We tried testing rice bran, we tested the wood shavings, we tested coffee, and the coffee turned out to be the best. So if you're doing poultry, you must ensure that coffee husks are used, at least in the brooder. Get the right chicks from the right company. Otherwise, this is Highland Brown from the right company. So you can look at 4 weeks, the chicks are clear. They have matured. So if you want to get the right chickens, you must get the right chicks from the right company. Ensure that you learn how to dispose of the dead chicks. If the chick dies, you must dispose of properly. How do we dispose the chicks which have died? Some of you give them to pigs. Some of you throw them behind. Some of you cook them for your dogs. Some of you bury them. But the best practice now, whatever you've been doing, all of it is wrong. The best practice is to burn that very chick. Incinerate it. If you don't have the incinerator, of course, we're dealing with the starter farmers here. Get very good banana leaves. Burn the chick to 0. Let the chick be burnt so that you don't cause infections there and there. Including infections, no. Burn the chick. What must you do before transferring the chicks? What must you do? We are going to give them electrolytes. Those, of course, give them a vitamin which contain electrolytes so that the chicks have energy and have the appetite. When they reach up there, of course, they are going to be transferred in the upstairs. The room was prepared, waiting for these chicks, and that has been 4 weeks preparation. Actually, about 6 weeks. Only that these chicks are 4 weeks, and that was done 2 weeks before they come. So you must prepare the room earlier enough, and on the transferring day, the chicks must be given electrolytes so that they go with a lot of energy. They don't get disrupted. We also ensured that our room was nicely lit. Look at this kind of a bulb. The bulb is not hot, it is an energy saver. But still, you can see the power that it produces. And also look at this one. This is 200 watts. This one produces a lot of heat. Of course, we must prepare for the expenditure of electricity. However, the heat is necessary. Of course, we also use the pots in our heating so that we have enough heat in the chicks. The pots worked very well. So if you use the pots, the charcoal is not very expensive in Uganda, but still they bring very nice heat. So you cannot use electricity alone. You must improvise also. The pots produce enough light and enough heat. So now, let's talk about biosecurity. We ensured that everybody was cut off from our home before brought in these chicks. Well, if you remember the farm we had, people were entering free, coming on the ground without anything. So they would come, check on the chicks, what, but now we put a gate. It is a temporary gate, but however, everybody who comes is told to stop on the gate. Reason, we don't want any infection to come from outside. And if you compare, we lost many chicks in the previous seasons, but this one, it has been a success. I've told you we lost only 2 chicks, and because of accident only. So there's no disease that we suspect being here. The chicks, you see, they are very healthy. You can imagine. They are very healthy, all of them. Of course, you can see aeration. The room has enough aeration. This window is opened every morning so that there's aeration, and that door, we just put in a plywood in the door so that the chicks have enough aeration. You can imagine how full they are. They must be wondering, why are we here? They are going today to another room. So we remove we remove such water every time the water gets over. We remove the drinkers. And again, if there is some water, you ensure to clean the drinker so that there is clean water. But of course, this water cannot last more than 12 hours. That is very bad. Ensure to change the water every time you feel the water is dirty. Change it. Also, something I want to advise you people. You can see that the water here is raised. These are bricks. The water is raised so they don't put in a lot of hot casks. And of course, we also introduced these big feeders were introduced. You can see properly. We introduced these big feeders because the other small ones with holes, they were too small. Of course, we also introduced these ones in the first 2 weeks. These ones were introduced, but we are now upgrading to only these big ones because you can see the chicks have enough feed throughout the night. Then it doesn't get over throughout the night, so we introduced in another type of feeders. One more thing. We introduced in the solar energy so that we don't have power cut-offs. No, a Christian Uganda shades off so much. So we introduced in the solar power so that it is a backup. Of course, the bulb is not lighting simply because there's electricity. But if it disappears like this, we switch it on. So we have to be alert at night so that we don't have that darkness. If the light goes off, the chicks come together, they cocoon, and they end up suffocating each other. So they end up dying.